Welcome to this court session. This is State versus Tunji Babalola, charge number LD/47C/2025. The accused, Tunji Babalola, is charged with the offense of murder, contrary to Section 319 of the Criminal Code Act, Cap C 38, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004. Do we have Mr. Tunji Babalola here in the court today?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Tunji Babalola, you are hereby charged that on the 18th day of January 2025, at about 8:30 p.m. at Balatu Street, Kano State, you allegedly murdered your friend, Mr. Shola, the deceased, by stabbing him with a knife, thereby committing an offense punishable under Section 319 of the Criminal Code Act. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
The plea of not guilty has been recorded. I'll call on the prosecutor, Favor, to please make her appearance and proceed with her discoveries. Prosecutor, Favor, let's start you.
Honorable Court, I rise before you today to present the case of the state versus Tunji Babashola. My duty is to ensure that justice is served, guided by the Nigerian Constitution, specifically the Criminal Code Act of the Administration and the fundamental laws governing crimes and evidence in the nation. The defendant, Tunji Babashola, stands accused of murder under Section 319, subsection 1 of the Criminal Code Act, which prescribes the punishment of death for any person who unlawfully kills another with intent. The accused was found at the crime scene with his hands drenched in the blood of the deceased, Shola Ahmed, and the murder weapon, a knife, dumped in a nearby dumpster. Despite his claim of innocence, the circumstantial evidence overwhelmingly links him to this heinous act. And under Section 1C7, subsection of the Evidence Act, the law states that it's presumed when an accused person is material or seen at the crime scene without reasonable explanation. Now, the facts before the courts are very clear. Number one, motive. The deceased, Shola Ahmed, and the defendants were deeply entangled in illicit activities orchestrated by a known drug lord, Chike Amadu. Tunji claims to have been covered into these dealings. He said he was coerced into the dealings. However, financial desperation, as evidenced by his own statement, reveals a motive for his association with criminal activities and perhaps the murder of the associates. Number two, opportunity. Witnesses, namely the maid and the gatesman, placed Tunji in close proximity to the deceased moments before his death. Their refusal to testify fully underlines an atmosphere of fear and criminal collusion. Number three, evidence. Blood stains on Tunji's hands were identified as Shola's. The lack of witnesses or CCTV footage does not negate the significance of physical evidence that was found. Now, under Section 135, subsection 1 of the Evidence Act, the burden of proof lies on the prosecution to establish guilt beyond reasonable doubt, a standard we will meet. Now, the defendant has alleged a setup, citing Don Chike as the mastermind. However, this claim lacks substantiation. The court must rely on facts and conjecture Tunji's involvement in drug trafficking. It was also combined with the presence of in the crime scene paints a narrative of guilt. Under the Nigerian Constitution, Section 33, subsection 1 guarantees the right to life, but permits lawful deprivation following a fair trial. If found guilty, the law must take its course, while the accused pleads for leniency. We must remember Shola Ahmed, whose life was tragically cut short by the accused, Tunji Babashola. In conclusion, my lady, justice demands to be served. And why the defense may attempt to shift blame onto external forces, we must remain focused on the facts and evidence. I urge this court to hold the accused accountable and deliver a verdict that upholds the integrity of our judicial system. Thank you.
All right, Attorney Shekina, can we have you please make your appearance and proceed?
My honor, I stand before this honorable court to defend an innocent young man who has been unjustly accused of a crime he did not commit. The prosecution has built its case on mere speculations and circumstantial evidence, failing to provide any direct proof that my client, Tunji Babashola, is responsible for the tragic death of Shola Ahmed. My honor, it is a fundamental principle of our criminal justice system that the prosecution bears the burden of proof, as established in Section 135 of the Evidence of Act of 2011. The burden of criminal case lies on the prosecution, which must prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. This is not a matter of probability or suspicion, it is a matter of certainty. Let us examine the facts before this court. My client was found in the crime scene. His hands was drenched in blood. But my lord, does this automatically make him a murderer? Not the evidence shows that he was trying to... No, the evidence shows that he was trying to help his friend in his final moment. Furthermore, we must consider the victim's last word, as held in R.V. Perry 1909, 2 KB 697. Dying declarations are admissible as evidence. In this case, Shola Ahmed, with his last breath, uttered the name Chike Amudu. My lord, Chike Amudu is known in the figure of criminal underworld, a man whose dealings in drugs and violence are well documented. We also have clear proof that Chike Amudu's men have previously assaulted my client, threatening his life over financial disputes. It is only logical to deduce that Shola's murder was a result of his criminal syndicate activity, not the actions of my client, an innocent young man caught in the web of danger beyond his control. Additionally, the prosecution has failed to present any forensic evidence linking my client to murder weapons. The knife used in the crime was dumped nearby dumpster, yet no fingerprints, no DNA, nothing ties to my client. The witnesses, who is the maid and the gate man, has refused to tell the court that two men, the deceased Shola accompanied two men, the boys cutters. And when Shola was dead, this voice of these two mysterious guys were nowhere to be seen. I agree that my client's hands were drenched in blood, but he was trying to help his friend and the deceased Shola. Can we also say that the knife was found outside the house? So how is it possible that my client would have gotten outside the house and have thrown the knife and would come back to get Shola or to get the deceased Shola? Can we also note that my client and Shola have had close ties and they have been close friends? So how would the death of Shola benefit my client, Mr. Tunji? Tunji Babalola is not a murderer. He is the victim, just like Shola. Just like the many young men whose lives have been destroyed by criminal networks that operate in the shadows of our society. I urge this honorable court to uphold justice. Let's not sacrifice an innocent man for the crimes of others. Let us not let fear and assumption replace the process of the law. I would also like to state that my client did not have any possession of weapons because he ran back to Shola's apartment to warn Shola after Chike Amodu's boy came and assaulted him and his brother. So he ran to Chike Amodu's house and ran to the Shola's house to warn Shola that these boys are coming. I urge the honorable court uphold justice. I rest my case. Thank you, my honor.
Attorneys, the prosecutor and the attorney are done with their cases. Do we have any or any contrary opinion to what has been said? Cross-examination,
Yes.
favor.
Yes, I do.
So, attorney Shekina, co-class, prosecutor Favor, you'll be going first. You have 5 minutes for your counter arguments, please. Thank you.
Your Lordship, the defense has attempted to paint the accused, Mr. Tunji Babashola, innocent bystander who was merely caught up in an unfortunate circumstances. However, upon careful examination of the facts, their arguments failed to hold up against the weight of the evidence and the provisions of Nigerian Constitution and the Criminal Code Act. Number one, there is lack of direct evidence. The defense argues that there is no direct evidence linking Mr. Tunji to the murder of Mr. Shola Ahmed. However, under Section 135 of the Evidence Act, circumstantial evidence can be as compelling as direct evidence. It leads to only one logical conclusion, that the accused is guilty. There was no attempt. The absence of a weapon in his possession does not exonerate him. The prosecution has established that the murder weapon was recovered nearby, and forensic analysis indicates a match to the blood of the deceased. Number two, absence of motive. Defense claims that Mr. Tunji had no reason to kill Mr. Shola Ahmed. However, motive is not a legal requirement for provoking murder under the Nigerian law. The Criminal Code Act, which defines murder as the unlawful killing of a person with intent. 3, shifting blame to Chike and
Order, please. I think we lost the defending attorney. Please, let's wait for her to come back.
I'm sorry.
Okay, prosecutor Favor, you can proceed.
Okay. Now, what matters is the act and intention behind it, as provided under Section 316 of the Criminal Code of Acts, which defines murder as killing someone without intent. Number 3, the defense talks about shifting the blame to Chike Amadu. The defense attempts to introduce a third party, which is Chike Amadu, to create doubt. However, there is no concrete evidence placing Chike or his associates at the crime scene at the time of the murder. The only person physically present at the crime scene was Tunji Babashola. Defense also talked about duress and coercion. The defense argues that the accused acted under coercion and fear. However, duress is not a defense for murder under Nigerian law. Section 28 of the Criminal Code Act makes it clear that the person who commits an offense while under duress is still criminally responsible unless there was an immediate threat to life, which is not the case here. The defense also talked about witness testimonies. The defense claims that the testimonies of the witnesses were incomplete or unreliable. However, multiple witnesses have provided statements that contradict Mr. Tunji's claims of innocence. The nanny and the gatekeeper placed him at the scene, and their testimonies align with the physical evidence, which is the murder weapon. The defendant's presence at the crime scene without an immediate and justifiable explanation is more than enough to warrant this prosecution. Conclusion. Your Ladyship, the defense has failed to provide a solid legal argument that absolves the accused of his crime. The weight of the circumstantial evidence, the inconsistency in his narrative, and the lack of edible alternative explanation all points to his guilt. The prosecution urges this honorable court to find Mr. Tunji Babashola guilty as charged to ensure justice for the deceased, Shola Ahmed. Justice, they say, must not only be done, but must be seen to be done. Thank you.
All right, Attorney Shekina, you also have 5 minutes.
Your Honor, the prosecutor has still failed to provide concrete evidence that my client, Mr. Tunji Babashola, committed the crime. And I can remember she said that there are no witnesses. And I wonder how the witnesses have testified that my client, Mr. Tunji Babashola, committed the crime. Let's go back to the storyline. My client Tunji Babalola comes from a poor background, and he tried everything in his possible best to meet up with the needs of his family and also to help his ill mother. And while in the process of hustling, he met the diseased Shola, and Shola gave him money, and Shola eventually introduced him to Chike, who is a drug trafficker. Now, my client Tunji, according to his story, was skeptical about the whole situation, but he needed to help his mother. And so he did not agree but was forced into it. And he did not sell the drug. The diseased Shola sold the drug. And he gave, and Shola, the diseased Shola gave my client 60,000 naira out of 500,000 naira. So my client does not have any benefit in killing his friend Shola. And according to section 135 of the Nigerian Constitution, the Evidence Act 2011, the burden of proof in criminal cases lies on the prosecution, which must prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt. At this point, the prosecutor has failed to bring concrete evidence that proves that my client, Tunji Babalola, committed this crime. And if we can go back to the story, Mr. Tunji Babalola was the last person that saw his friend Shola. And before my client, Tunji Baba, saw his friend Shola, there were two men that came before him. And are we going to overlook the fact that these guys were not seen around when my client Tunji was with Shola? Doesn't that need to be questioned? Because these boys were sent from Chike, because according to the two boys that met my client, that molested my client before going to Shola's house to kill him, they told my client that Chike, who is a drug trafficker, had eyes everywhere, and they were the ones that killed my client. No DNA, no fingerprint leads to my client Tunji Babalola. The DNA or the fingerprint does not match with that of my client. And I urge this honorable court to uphold justice and free my client because he is not guilty of the case. Thank you, my honor.
All right. I think that will be all. Or do we still have anyone who has anything to say?
Would like to ask the accused some questions.
All right. You may proceed.
Mr. Tunji Babashola, why did you follow Shola to Don Chike place, knowing his reputation for criminal activities?
I wasn't aware of his criminal activity initially. Shola promised to help me because I know my mom wasn't feeling fine and I needed money to take care of her medical concerns. Shola did not tell me we were going to such a place. Shola asked me to follow him just to somewhere to see somebody that would give us something to do, give us some job to do. I didn't know initially that it was a criminal activity.
Okay. When you found out that it was a criminal activity, why didn't you report the drug dealings or Shola's plan to deceive Don Chike to the authorities?
I was actually scared because when I found myself caught at the middle of two tight situations, I needed money for my mom's treatment, and I didn't know the outcome or the consequences of reporting to the law because from what I heard, Don Chike is a well-known person, and I was told that he is a popular person. He has great power and great influence around the city. So I was so careful not to fall into any of those traps. So that is why I didn't make any report.
You said you were helping your mother. How does engaging in criminal activities align with this claim?
Objection, my lord. Objection, my lord.
Objection overruled.
I was desperate. I need to take care of my mom. I didn't actually know it will get to that point of any criminal activity. Like as I said earlier, I wasn't told that there is going to be anything involving criminal act or whatsoever. So it wasn't intentional. I didn't really know it was getting to that point.
Now, why should the court believe your testimony given your admitted involvement in illegal activities? If you had known Don Chike was involved in illegal activities, why did you then proceed? You claim you were scared of Don Chike. Why didn't you go to the police to make a statement or report to ask for protection? And like you said you wanted to protect yourself according to the stuff given. What steps did you take to protect yourself or your family once you realized the danger involved with these activities?
We have enough resources to do that, but it was something I just planned to do. Everything happened so quickly. Shola took me down to Don Chike. Everything happened so quickly that I just couldn't really have time to plan protecting my family in any way. But one thing is sure is that I did not sell those drugs. I did not sell them. It was Shola. Shola asked me to go with him. It was Shola that did the selling. I was just by the side. And I was also trying to avoid getting involved in it directly because I knew it wasn't something that I really want to do.
You said you did not sell the drugs. Why then did you collect the money that was given to you?
Like as I said, I was desperate and I needed money to take care of my mom's medical bills. And Shola promised to help me. So that is why I took it.
Let's focus on the keyword desperate. So it is true that you were desperate for money and you would have done anything, including committing murder to protect yourself since you were desperate, like you said. Would you have committed the murder?
No. There is no way I would have done that.
Someone said he is desperate to make money to help his mother. Won't you be also desperate to commit murder to help your mother?
No, not to that extent, not to that point.
Why should the court believe your testimony when you're already involved in illegal activities with Don Chike?
I've not done any of those things before. That was that, like as I said, I did.
Shola to go and you were an assistant. You were helping him keep watch. Order.
So, Your Honor, can I speak?
Yes, you can.
Like as I said, I did not sell the drug with him. I just went there. And when he went to the point where he needed to make the sales, I stayed by the side. I didn't get involved in it. I did not even know any of those things. I didn't even know what was in the bag. It was later on, he got to inform me that it was marijuana, but actually I was not part of it and I didn't see myself being part of it. I said the word desperate because it's something that is natural. Definitely your mom is sick, your sister sister left school, and then your brother got into an accident. So everything was just working so quickly against all odds. So I was scared and worried. But for the fact that I said desperate, that doesn't warrant me to get involved in taking the life of Shola. Shola has been a helper to my family. He has been a nice person to us. He has been good to us. So there's no way I can ever do such thing. Moreover, even if I do it, how can I benefit from it? What will I gain from it? There's nothing I meant to gain from it because I got the money that was given to me. So Shola wasn't owing me anything. So why would I take his life? There's nothing I can gain from it.
I would like to ask you one more question before we proceed. Why didn't you immediately call for help or alert anyone when you saw Shola bleeding?
Yeah, when I got there, my aim was going there to inform Shola about what's going on, and then I saw him. And when I saw him on the floor, I yelled for help. But the gate man and the nanny, they saw me coming in, but I believe they didn't want to be a witness to this issue because they are also scared of Chike. I believe that because they saw me coming in and they saw me getting into the room to speak with Shola, and I saw Shola on the floor. I yelled, help, help, help. But no one was there to help me, so I did yell.
Do you think that Don Chike framed you?
Objection, my lord. The prosecutor said she had one more question for my client.
All right, please, all from Prosecutor Favor's end.
Please.
Attorney Shekina, do you want to make any cross-examination?
Yes.
You had your time, you had your moments, Prosecutor Favor. Please, let's also hear from Attorney. Okay.
My honor, I would love to remind you and the court that the prosecution has not made any statement. It 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 has not made any sta that the prosecutor has still failed to provide concrete evidence that my client committed the crime. And it is the proof of burden is supposed to be on the prosecutor, and she is still yet to provide concrete evidence. The weapon has no connection with my client. The DNA, the fingerprint has no connection with my client. So how possible did my client commit the crime when there was no weapon around him? And the only weapon that was found was outside the environment. There are no witnesses.
Objection, my lord.
There are no
Objection, my lord.
there are no evidence. There are no witnesses to prove that my client committed the crime. So everything is still a mere speculation and circumstantial evidence.
My lord.
The prosecutor has failed to provide direct proof that my client, Tunji Babalola, is responsible for the death of Shola Ahmed.
All right.
Thank you.
Prosecutor Favor, you have anything to say?
My lord, can I make a final argument as a prosecutor?
All right, you may proceed.
Okay. May it please the Honorable Court to know that the state versus Tunji Babashola is not a case of doubt or speculation. It is a case where the facts, the law, and all the evidence points to one undeniable truth, that the accused is guilty of the brutal and unlawful murder of Shola Ahmed. The law speaks very, very clearly under Section 319, subsection 1 of the Criminal Code Act, that anyone who unlawfully kills another with intent is guilty of murder and must face the full weight of the law. The defendant was found at the crime scene covered in blood of the deceased, with the murder weapon discarded nearby. This is not a mere coincidence. It is overwhelmingly evidence of guilt. Now, the defense claims that my learned colleague's client was merely a victim of circumstance, a man caught in a web spun by the notorious Chike Amadu. But the law does not recognize these excuses where hard evidence proves guilt. Section 167 of the Evidence Act states that when an accused person is found with incriminating evidence and fails to provide a reasonable explanation, the law presumes guilt. The accused's explanation is weak, inconsistent, and unsupported by facts. Section 135 of subsection 1 of the Evidence Act places the burden on the prosecution to plead guilt beyond reasonable doubt. We have done exactly that with forensic evidences. The defendant claims coercion, yet he had ample opportunity to report any alleged threats to law enforcement, yet he chose to remain quiet. Justice must prevail. Justice under Section 33 of the Nigerian Constitution that demands every person's right to life is protected. The deceased Shola Ahmed was a human being. While the defense attempts to mislead the court with distractions and alternative theories, let us remain focused on what truly matters: the rule of law and the sanctity of justice. I respectfully urge this honorable court to deliver a verdict that upholds the integrity of our justice system and upholds the accused fully accountable under the law. Justice delay is not justice denied. Let justice be served. I rest my case.
All right. What's your final argument?
My lord, according to Section 365 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, guarantees the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. The prosecution has failed to discharge this burden. And I would also like to state the Section 7 of the Nigerian Constitution, states that dying declarations are admissible as evidence. In the case of Shola Ahmed, with his last breath, he uttered the word Chike Amadu. My lord, Chike Amadu is a known figure in criminal underworld, a man whose dealings in drugs and violence are well documented. And I would also love that the justice look into the matter that the prosecutor has not brought any concrete evidence that my client committed the murder. media. There is no inconsistency in this case here. The stories are straightforward, and everything still aligns with my client's story. From when he met Sola down to Sola's death, everything is consistent, and my client has not changed anything. There is still no witness, there is still no evidence that my client committed the crime, and we cannot prosecute him. He cannot be held guilty if there is no concrete evidence or if there is no witness to testify that he committed the crime. I would love to round up by saying that the prosecutor has no evidence that my client committed the crime, and we cannot hold an innocent man for a crime he did not commit when everything is still based on mere speculation and circumstantial evidence. There is no concrete evidence, there is no witness that my client committed the crime. Everything is just on mere speculation. My client, Tunji Babalola, is not a murderer. The
Objection, my
victim,
lord.
just like every other person. I urge this honorable court to uphold justice, like let uphold justice. Let us not sacrifice an innocent man for the crimes of others. Thank you. I rest my case.
All right. Thank you. All right. I said that will be all, since you have all made your final arguments. The court shall stand down for a recess of 5 minutes for the presiding judges to deliberate. We shall be back with the final verdict. Court is adjourned. This court has carefully reviewed the evidence presented by the prosecution and the defense in this case. The accused, Mr. Tunji Babalola, is charged with the murder of Mr. Shola Ahmed on the 18th day of January 2025 at Galatu Street, Kano State. The prosecution bears the burden of proving the guilt of the accused beyond a reasonable doubt, as required by the principles of criminal law. The prosecution presented the following pieces of discoveries. Prosecutor Favor was able to give us sections of the law, including Section 319 of the Criminal Code Act, Section 33 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, Section 135 of the Evidence Act, as well as Section 167 of the Evidence Act, 2011, amongst others. She also made mention of the fact that the accused was present and was found at the crime scene. She mentioned that the accused hands were drenched in blood, and the blood was proven to be the blood of the deceased, Mr. Shola. She recognized the menstruation, that is the intention to murder Mr. Shola. She mentioned that the absence of witness doesn't of murdering the deceased. And she mentioned that the silence of the gatekeeper and the maid clearly suggests that the accused committed the crime, and that there was no CCTV footage recorded doesn't resonate the accused. Consistent with her case and the proximity of the accused at the scene of the crime corroborates the prosecution's case. I will move on to the defense argument. The defense raised the following points. The defense recognized that the prosecution has made her evidence solely on speculations and mere assumptions. She also mentioned that there was no certainty of evidence on the part of the prosecution. She also mentioned the lack of forensic evidence to prove that gatesman and the maid are witnesses to the fact that the accused didn't commit the crime. However, the prosecution mentioned that there is actually a forensic evidence that claims that the blood drenched on the accused hand is that of the deceased. She mentioned also that the absence of weapon does not resonate the accused. However, the defense counsel has failed to counter this motion. Court's findings. The court has found that one, both attorneys has refused to state the name of the accused correctly. It is not Tunji Babashola, it is Tunji Babalola. On the part of the defense counsel, the court was expecting you to raise an alibi or alibi for your clients, which you have refused to do that. Also, you kept beating around the bush, telling this court that your clients did not commit the crime. However, Prosecutor Favor mentioned to us and gave us so many evidence that your client actually committed the offense. This does not determine the judgment of the court. Under Section 319 sub 1 of the Criminal Code Act, the punishment of murder is death by hanging. However, with the failure of the prosecution to prove to us beyond reasonable doubt that the accused indeed committed the crime, there were no witnesses, the forensic evidence was not presented to the court. This is the judgment of the court. The court has hereby reduced the charge of the accused to manslaughter under Section 325 of the Criminal Code Act. And under Section 325 of the Criminal Code Act, the punishment for manslaughter is imprisonment for life. However, the court has decided to be lenient and has decided to tamper justice with mercy. Mr. Tunji Babalola, you are hereby sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. This is the judgment of the court. Before I rise, I would like to congratulate Prosecutor Favor for winning this court case. However, this does not necessarily or automatically give you the win for the overall competition, the advocacy competition. I shall now announce the overall winner of the advocacy competition. Presiding judges, we came up with some criteria for grading and judging the attorneys, which we've done, and with the total points of 30 points. The overall winner of the Unique Eagles Education, the Advocate competition is, before I tell us the winner, I would like to point out something. Attorney Shekina, you were very late to the court today, and this court does not condone lateness. You were very, very late. Even when we said the final verdict court proceeding will start again by 4:23, you were still very late. The court doesn't condone that.
By honor, it is not intentional. It was due to network issues. Now, long that you take that
to apologize or give us any excuse as to why you came to the court very late. So the court assumes that you apologize, but the court already assumed that you were late. Thank you. The winner of the advocate competition is Favor. Congratulations, Prosecutor Favor. You have won the competition, the advocate competition, and you have won yourself the sum of 150,000 naira.
Thank you.
Please drop your card in the comment section for your prize. Thank you.
Okay, Your Honor.
Congratulations, Prosecutor Favor. You did absolutely.
Yeah, I really appreciate
Like
it.
you
Thank
ate
you so much.
me up with this one. I can't lie.
All right. Let us know in the comment section that you've received the alert, please. Because we did not hear that alert received very well.
Just did it. I just did that. Now, last receipt. Thank you so much.
Please confirm how much you got.
I got the sum of 150,000 naira.
Wow. I shall now proceed to the final business of the day. Attorney Shekina, please on your camera. I need to see you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this is a competition that values all our contestants. And today we recognize not just the champion, Prosecutor Favor, congratulations once again, but we recognize the hard work and the dedication of the second participant as well. Attorney Shekina, we recognize you. So moving forward, I would like to tell you the second participant that are coming on here headstrong, vibrant, and willing to even participate is the first step of greatness. While you didn't win, it doesn't mean anything. You have done what a lot of people cannot muster the courage to do. And so we celebrate you.
Thank you.
All right. Therefore, the panel of judges have come to the conclusion that the second participant will be rewarded.
No, thank you.
Yes. And you will be going home with a sum of, I'm thinking we should just close this session. What do you think?
No, why this suspense in my own time?
I tire.
Oh my god, I have headache already.
Okay. I'm going to tell you the sum that you've won after this sand. So let's hope that the sand will stop
Okay.
people. All right. Attorney Shekina, your client was resonated from the charge of murder to manslaughter. You have equally won. Therefore, you'll be going with the sum of 100,000 naira. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. You won the sum of 100,000 naira.
you.
Please drop your account details in the comment section.
Thank you. What do you say, Favor?
I say sigh of relief. Like, I was like,
we've been driving around singing
I've
songs.
just done this and done that. I was not feeling guilty on my part. Like, Shekina is going home with nothing. Seriously, I was like, at the end of this session, I probably will go to Shekina's DM to like gift her something out from my wings.
It's all thanks to our boss.
So the accused, who is hiding his face because the questions kept him on a hot seat.
Okay, I think I already sent it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, she has confirmed the alert. Please tell us how much you received.
I received it. Thank you so much.
You don't want to mention it, you know?
Oh, no, I've already wrote it down.
Okay, no problem. So congratulations to both of you. You have both shown incredible talent, and today we celebrate your achievements.
Thank you so much.
Our Favor is no longer here, but I wanted to ask you how you guys feel. How do you feel?
I feel like right now, the thing I feel right now is headache. I have serious headache because like I sit up at night to practice, but I know that I just didn't give it my best. But like Favor ate me up. Yeah, and I also want to change my clothes because like there is heat when I wear long
I
sleeves.
swear to God.
But
I
anyways,
see.
I'm literally so happy. Yeah, I'm literally so happy, and I'm so grateful for the Unique Eagles educational show, and I'm grateful for George Mobella and Mr. Faye. I don't know what to call him, but I'm so grateful for everybody, and I'm super grateful to the Prosecutor who cut off my neck. Okay, it's not my head you're saying now. So, but congratulations to every one of us, and I really appreciate it.
All right. Prosecutor Favor, how do you feel? We need to hear from you.
Well, I feel good, but it was really a tough one because I was scared. It was now as if with the evidence that was there, Shekina was trying to push the evidence behind, and that was exactly what she was doing. And at that point, I was really scared. I was like, "What's in the occur? Now me get this evidence. Now Shekina wake on the what's in the occur? That kind of thing." But it was nice because of this thing. I had to go and purchase a ring light. Today now buy this ring light because I was like,
Wow.
I needed everything to be clear because I'm still at my parents' place, and here lights no they forget this thing my inverter, so I had to go and get this. So now I know that my money was worth it getting this sincerely. So I'm just happy. I'm happy that everything turned out fine, and the fact that the panel of judges they deemed it fit to also credit Shekina. It was really a sign of relief for me because I needed Shekina to go back home with something. It's really not easy, coming before a crowd to like speak. Public speaking is really hard, you understand. And she did really well. So I really applaud. The panel of judges deserve some accolades. So thank you very much, including you, the judges. You guys really, you when you were talking, I was like, let me go through this girl's profile. As you were talking, I was going through your profile. I was not seeing law. You just graduated from. I said, oh, no wonder, because yes, you were just quoting the Nigerian Constitution. Now, before the thing entered my head, I was like, the way you understand, you were quoting it, and it was as if you jotted everything down. It was really nice. You really did well. So kudos to you, Judge, and to the other lordship. You guys really did well. So kudos.
Thank you. We want to hear from the accused.
Accused. They
Please.
cry. Mona need a disturber.
Okay. First of all, let me make something very clear. Favor, you're lucky that I'm not close to you at home. You are taking some really flog into the. How will you, at my old age, you'll be wiping me questions like that? It was really great. I will really say, in as much as it started like with the rough roads, the kind of network was really messy, and also I think Instagram, that should be Instagram 4, because when I refreshed it, it now started working good. So I think that was Instagram 4, not necessarily network at that beginning. I think when I was clicking accept and request and stuff like that. So, but all in all, I'm really happy for the fact that you guys, the two of you, and also the two judges, you see how much practice, how prepared these ladies are really preparing. I can imagine what Shekina must have done behind the scene, because just like the way she did in the other one, when she had someone and was preparing, Shekina doesn't prepare alone. She always had the second hand to give her more information. That's what I noticed about Shekina. She always want to be grounded completely. So I really want to really congratulate the both of you, because it's not an easy task to come in front of the camera and also try to discuss what is going on, try to get those laws in hand. And I made it worse when I asked them to change their discovery. So which means both of them already knew their weak points and also their strengths before coming here. So that makes it more challenging. You guys, so in the end, both of them also were able to come out great. I really want to kind of like encourage you guys. You guys did great. Like, we already know the reason of this platform is of like upgrading, kind of also empowering our young people. Okay, so for those of us that are serious about this platform, you discover that with play, it looked like we're having fun, but some of you may be discovering some hidden skills and talents inside you without even knowing. Some things that you did not really know about yourself before, but for the fact that you get involved in what we're doing here, you find out that you discover some things about yourself. Not everybody, but for some of you that are really, really serious about what we are doing in this platform. So I'm very, very happy about the fact that everyone was involved. Big thank you to Mobella. Initially, I really had a great confidence in Mobella, but today, after the whole thing, it has moved from 100 to 500, honestly, because the way she was doing the whole thing, I was like, oh my God, I didn't even have any reason to say anything at all. She took like care of the whole thing, the laws and the rules, the subsections, kinikon. I was almost taking my pen to write something, but I realized that I had handcuff from my hand. Couldn't do any of those things. So it's really great. And also behind the scene, we have Faye. Faye opened the section today. That's also great. Faye was also awesome. He did great also. So you guys were awesome, I will really say. I'm so happy about what you guys did today, and more contests to be coming. I like the fact that we test kind of like we oppose each other and also compete. The reason of this platform is to learn while we earn. So the major thing is learning and also having fun. That is the major thing. The money is just the side attraction. The major goal is the learning and having fun. Many of us, we already know ourselves already now, so we'll learn from this process. So I would want to say thank you to every one of you for being part of this show. And for those of you that are watching us from behind the scene, we want to appreciate you guys. Some of you in the comment section, we want to say thank you. And we have more competition to come in. So I know some of you will be thinking, oh wow, I wish I knew I'd have gotten involved. I would have participated in this competition, but trust me, it's easier said than done behind the scene. You can say it outside behind the scene, but when you're in front of the camera, it's a different ball game entirely. Okay, so that is how I want to say thank you to everyone. Bye.